श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण प्रधान सहित गणललिता श्रीविशाखाविष्टां सा हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्तदिशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण प्रभु जी
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. That was wonderful. Very nice, the way you sang it. Such a wonderful start for our satsang today. Just want to welcome our other devotees as well. Meenakshi Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us. Indulekha Devi Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
so happy to have your
Thank you.
association.
Thank you. Me too. I'm so happy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. These are the real joys, the joy of being in the association of devotees. And I feel so happily humbled that we all are able to continue with our satsang. And we are in the 71st chapter. And this wouldn't have been possible without the blessings of Vaishnavas and wouldn't have been possible without the blessings of Prabhupada. And by the grace of Radha Gokulananta and Radha Landaneshwar as well, by all the different deities in other different places, wherever our devotees are from, right from Canada. I just wanted to know, Indulekha Mataji,
Hare Krishna.
the deities that you have, what are they called over there in Canada? Like,
We know, you know, where we live. It's on a little island of Vancouver, and there is no ISKCON temple. There is one Hindu temple, but one family has a small temple on their premises, and that is they have Jagannath deities there. They have all the deities like ISKCON deities, but main is they have Gaur Nitai also, and they have Jagannath temple also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very,
Jagannath Mandir, so Jagannath deities, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, they have Radha Krishna, they have Sri Gaur Nitai, Nrsimhadev, Srila Prabhupada, and whatever usually in ISKCON temple they have that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's very nice, Mataji. Nice to hear. I mean, it is so nice to see, like, our Sangha with our devotees are joining different places. So it's always nice to just share about our deities and about some of the beautiful things that are happening in different temples. I'm sure, like,
Yes, Prabhuji.
Gayatri Mataji and you must be having your own experiences out there. And
Yes,
similarly,
Prabhuji.
here also we are also collecting our own wonderful experiences, serving in manner, and it's so joyful. It's a platform for all of us to share, and it could be anything about our deities,
I will post, Prabhuji. I will post. Last weekend was long weekend, so we went to the Saranagati. It was mesmerizing, out of this world. This place is so beautiful.
Mataji, I think what we should do is towards the end of the session, I think if you have anything like those kind of a thing, I think we should just share with our, our devotees, because we are in so many different places and there's so many beautiful things happening in different parts of the world, in Krishna world. And it's nice to.
At the end, yes.
Yeah,
Hare
yeah,
Krishna.
definitely. Hare Krishna. Pavan Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
You're Dandavat Pranam. You're in a listening mode. So, without losing time, let's. Can we have someone to do the Jai Radha Madhava in Hare Krishna? Anyone would like to? Meenakshi ji, would you like to? Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha गिरिवरदारी जय गोपीजनवल्लभ गिरिवरदारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजन रञ्जन यमुनातीरा बनचारी यमुनातीरा बनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा गोकुल नंद राधा गोकुल नंद श्री राधे जय राधा लंडनेश्वर श्री राधे जय सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जय सीताराम राम लक्ष्मण हनुमान। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी। जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन। जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताय गौरा हरि बोल। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Oh, that was so nice. Such a nice, soft and sweet tune, and very nice, Mataji. That was very, very nice. Thank you so much for giving a
Very
nice
good, very good,
tune to all of
very
us.
good, very
Very
good.
nice, isn't it,
Excellent.
Parjash Prabhu? Yeah.
Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Can you write all that down for me, please? Brilliant. Very nice. Very
Yeah,
nice.
very nice. I mean, I was telling, this is the beauty of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So many beautiful melodies. And when each of these tunes, when different devotees, they sing in in their own nice, unique way, that Krishna is given such a nice gift of voice for all of us in to sing his glories, and that is the actual austerity of speech. And I was just listening to one of the sloka in Bhagavad Gita. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahatam chayat swadhyayaya bhashanam chaiva vanmayam tapa uchyate. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says the austerity of speech. We should speak words which are very, very truthful, which are very beneficial, which are very, very pleasing, and which are not antagonizing or creating animosity in the other person. And another part of austerity of speech is by reading beautiful literature of, the Vedic literature, or chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is the actual austerity of speech. Everybody is given the free will of speech. But Krishna is mentioning like Anudvega Karam Vakyam, that austerity of speech lies in speaking, using your words, the free will to speaking words which are very pleasing, beneficial, not for a tit for tat, but speaking in such a way that even the other person feels like, very pleasing, very calming. These are the things which Krishna not only just in Bhagavad Gita, through the Bhagavad Gita, is speaking to all of us, that this is how we have to use our austerity of speech. And along with that, not only pleasing words and all that, but austerity of speech also consists of singing nice kirtans, reading the Bhagavad Gita, reading the Harikatha. These are the things Krishna mentions that are they're listed under the austerity of speech, which is what we are trying to do. And the devotees are so nicely using this austerity speech in glorifying Krishna through these wonderful bhajans. Thank you so much, Mataji. That was so wonderful. And I'm just going to go into our book, which is the Krishna book. And I hope everybody can see this, right? Right. So here we have actually covered Krishna's daily activities, just for devotees, in case if anyone has missed out on the last week's session. We're talking about Krishna's daily activities, and there are two things which have happened. One is a messenger who has come on behalf of all the kings who have been imprisoned by Jarasandha. And that messenger has come asking Krishna to please help them to release all the kings who have been imprisoned by Jarasandha. That was one of the requests. And the other request that came from Narada Muni, where he has asked Krishna to please attend the Rajasuya sacrifice that King Yudhishthira is organizing, and for which he wanted Krishna's presence. And we also seen that Krishna played every role to perfection. He played the role of a husband, of goddesses of fortune, that is Rukmini as husband of all the princes in different parts in Dwarka. He also played the perfect role of a son to Mother Yashoda. He's seen all the beautiful roles that he playing. So even when he was a king of Dwarka, he played a perfect. Even though he's the supreme lord of the universe, he was so nicely consulting Uddhava his cousin and asking him, Uddhava, you please tell what is the right thing to do. And it's so beautiful to see how even Krishna is consulting Uddhava, because he was depending on his counsel to speak the right advice to give. So we started off with Lord Krishna in Indraprastha city. We are on chapter number 71, and the nectar is continuing to flow. We covered some of the paragraph, but before we dive in, we are just going to offer our obeisances to Krishna. Hey Krishna, Karna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu, Jagatpate, Gopi, Shah, Gopika, Kanta, Radha, Kanta, Namostute, Tapta Kanchana, Gaurangi, Radhe, Vrindavaneshwara, Rishabhansute, Devi Pranamami, Hari Priya. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. As we always mention the glories of listening to Harikatha, where Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha chakta deham punarjanma naiti mameti suarjana. Krishna says, one who understands the transcendental pastimes of Krishna's Katha, one who understands Krishna's beautiful leelas, how Krishna appeared, and Krishna's beautiful leelas throughout his life, those devotees towards the end of the life, they will not come back into this material world. But Krishna, why? Because Krishna is giving the highest benediction that anybody who listens to Krishna Katha towards the end of their life, they will go back to the supreme planet of Krishna, which is called as Krishna Loka. So it is very important for us to understand the importance of listening to Krishna Katha. And we are very fortunate that in the Devotees Association, that is when the Krishna Katha should be like in the middle of all beautiful Vaishnavas that are there in this satsang. That is how we have to listen to Krishna Katha. Not by from mundane scholars, but by in the presence of the devotees. And because this life is like a completely the test of our life is towards the end, when we have the examination where we think about what is the state of our consciousness. If we are listening to Krishna Katha throughout our life, if we are developing love for Krishna by listening to Krishna Katha, the main purpose is to develop love for Krishna, to purify our consciousness, so that towards the end of our life, if we are able to think about Krishna towards the end of our life, then Krishna says that whoever remembers him towards the end of life, that is where he will go. So if we are listening to Krishna Katha through all our life, then towards the end of life, we will be able to develop such kind of consciousness and such kind of a love towards Krishna that we will be able to remember Krishna. And very beautiful thing I wanted to just mention before we start. Bhagavan Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, Antakalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram ya prayati sadmabhavam yati nati atra samsayaha. Krishna says, Arjuna, towards the end of your life, whomever you're thinking, if you're thinking of the Supreme Bhagavan Sri Krishna, then Krishna assures that that kind of a person who's thinking of Krishna towards his end of life, we will go back to Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan. But interesting thing is, what if something happens to the devotee for some unknown reason, like if the devotee is he's in hospital, because many times it happens, isn't it? Devotees also, they go through some hardship, and towards the end of the life, we keep hearing about some senior devotee, they're in hospital, to pray for them and things like that. But Bhagavan Sri Krishna, so people say, what about those devotees who are also suffering towards the end of their life? What is their consciousness and what is their situation? What if they are not able to remember Krishna towards the end of life? What is the situation of those devotees who have practiced Krishna consciousness all their life, but towards the end of life, they land up being in a hospital and they are not in a position to think about them? Then in Varaha Purana, it is mentioned, Yadi vata didoshena makta madbhakta mam nachasmaret aham smarami madbhaktam Nayami Paramam Gatim. Bhagavan Sri Krishna is saying in Varaha Purana that by any situation, if my devotee is not in that consciousness to remember me towards the end of his life, then I will remember my devotee and take him back to Krishna Loka. Imagine the love that Krishna has for his devotees. That Krishna says in Varaha Purana that in case if my devotees are unable to remember me towards the end of life, I will remember my devotee and take him back to Goloka Vrindavan. So this is the mercy of Krishna. So we should never be afraid. As long as we are practicing Krishna consciousness, and as long as we are able to develop the love for Krishna, then towards the end of love, we remember Krishna. If you are not able to remember, Krishna says, I will remember my devotee and take him back to Krishna. How beautiful, isn't it? And also in Bhagavatam, it is mentioned, Shrinvatam swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantastu Hayabadrani Vidnoti Suhritsatam. If you simply hear about Krishna, just like you are kindly hearing now, then gradually all the dirty things in your heart will be cleansed. So, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned in Sistastikatam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So one of the things that happens is because we have accumulated so many samskaras which are all sitting in our heart and in our consciousness. So by listening to the Krishna Katha, Cheto Darpana Marjanam happens, which so our heart will be cleansed completely and our subconscious mind, everything will be filled with beautiful pious leelas of Krishna. We will be able to replace all of this with the love for Krishna. So it's very, very important for us. This is the most wonderful way in which we can practice Krishna consciousness by listening to Krishna Katha. So on that note, I would like to just enter into this chapter, chapter number 71, Lord Krishna in Indraprastha city. As we know, Uddhava has also given his counsel and he also has mentioned, Krishna, you asked me what is the best thing to do in this circumstance, and my 2 pence on this, that means my thoughts on this is that because for the Rajasuya sacrifice it should be done only when the king has completely gained victory on all the directions. So the best thing, my advice would you be, Krishna, first you go and kill all the people who have been imprisoned by Jarasandha, and in that way it would be appear that you have completely gained victory, and with that victory it would be good that if the Rajasuya sacrifice is being done by Yudhishthira. So and he also his counsel, he said that Jarasandha, he's got the strength of 1,000 elephants. So the best one is put him on a one-on-one with Bhemasena, who's got the immediate strength. But the only thing is, Krishna, I would suggest that you be in the presence of Bhimasena when he is fighting with Jarasandha. So very nicely Uddhava has given his counsel, and we've seen that so this is what he has mentioned, and Krishna has accepted the advice of Uddhava, and not only Krishna but all everyone in the all the people who are there in the Swadharm, the palace, they have all accepted the suggestion that has been given by Uddhava, and now it so happened that Lord Krishna again, like as I said, he was following the Vedic culture to the T. So he was taking permission from his father Vasudeva and Ugrasena and things like that, and today morning I was just thinking about Krishna. One of the things that we can really learn about or understand from the Leelas of Krishna is to how to live our life so selflessly as an offering for Krishna. If you see Krishna, the way he has done it, Krishna killed Kamsa, but did he take over Mathura? No, he did not take Mathura. He went and released Ugrasena and he offered the kingdom back to Ugrasena, that is his grandfather or Kamsa's father. And he told, grandfather, you rule the kingdom. I don't need to rule. So at every point of time, Krishna is selflessly serving others. If you can see, when Indra is lashing out the rains on the people of Vrindavan, what did he do? He lifted the Govardhan mountain. It was not for him, it was for the people of Vrindavan, so that everybody can take shelter over there. He created Dwaraka, why? If not for himself, so that this Jarasandha, who is constantly troubling the people of Mathura, he transferred all of them and created a city like Dwaraka. So, like that, Krishna is so selflessly serving everyone. Krishna says, because even though he's the Lord of the universe, he's setting an example that when he comes in this human form, he's doing all his duty to perfection. And he says, Arjuna, if I don't do my duty to perfection, then all these things will be put to ruination. So I am doing my duty. So it's, if you see the whole point of the Krishna Katha and all these things, it's all about doing your dharma. And that's the reason why our religion is very nicely called as Sanatan Dharma. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. We are eternal, Krishna is eternal, and we are part and parcel of Krishna. So we have to understand like how Krishna is performing his dharma, that we all have to, as long as we're living in this material world, we have to do everything as our dharma, not with any kind of attachment, but this is my dharma, so I have to do it. So we can see here, Krishna is nicely bidding farewell to Lord Balram and all the Yadus and Ugrasena and all of them. And he mounted on the chariot which bore the flag. And then after that, we see in also Krishna offering his obeisances to Narad Muni and, giving him all the respects that he need. And we also know how Narad Muni knows that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but still he was like playing his perfect role. He knows that Krishna is offering all the obeisances to Narad Muni and doing everything because he wants to set an example that in this way you have to serve the sages like Narad Muni. And that's the same parampara that we follow even now, as you can see, like in ISKCON, so nicely we respect our Guru Parampara, we respect the senior Vaishnavas with the etiquettes that we have to follow to give them utmost respect. So these things we have to learn from Krishna Katha, that this is how we have to be. We should always be very humble, and that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, right? Trinedapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amani maninena kirtana deva Sadahari. So that is what we have to understand about how we have to be humble in this consciousness. So here we can see the chariot of Lord Krishna started for Hastinapur and with many other chariots, and we seen that all the people of nicely 16,000 queens headed by the goddess of fortune Rukmini Devi, all of them accompanying and following Lord Krishna. And Krishna was getting ready to go to Indraprastha or Hastinapur. They were dressed up in costly garment, the soldiers carrying shields, swords, and lances and everything. They were all following with them, and many beasts of burden like bulls, buffaloes, asses, and camp and women who have followed were seated in separate palanquins on the back of the backs of the camel. So you can just bring to mind, like the grandeur in those days. Like many people think that maybe the land of Bharat, it's a very poor country, but can you see how rich it was? The land of Bharat was at one point of time, what kind of a Vedic culture that we have, what kind of opulences were there in Dwapara Yuga. But because of so many invasions, so much was destroyed in the land of Bharat that people have forgotten about the opulence. But when we read this Krishna Katha, we can bring to mind, visualize how grandeur and what kind of opulences were there when Lord Krishna was there in the land of Bharat. So here we can see that the Krishna was passing through all the kingdom of Anartha and all these things on the way to Hastinapur and the great desert of Rajasthan and Kurukshetra. And interesting, all these places are still there, isn't it? Very, very, so many places. Not only that, the places in Vrindavan even now, and thanks to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has directed all the Goswamis to go and dig all the places, unearth all the places where Krishna's Leelas happen. So we are so fortunate now that when we go to Vrindavan, we can see Nanda Bhavan, we can see Barsana, we can see all those places have been identified. Radha Kund, Sham Kund, every places have been once again rediscovered and identified. And so we are so fortunate that in our generation we are able to see all those beautiful pastimes which have happened during the time of Krishna. So here we can see. So from here, I would like to start the audience of personally not at all commonplace. Shall we just start? Can I ask anyone if they can read from here? The audience of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone would like to?
May I read?
Yes, Prabhuji, please. Yes, Mataji.
Krishna. The audience of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is not at all commonplace. Therefore, when King Yudhishthira heard that Lord Krishna had arrived in his capital city, Hastinapura, he became so joyful that all his bodily hair stood on end in great ecstacy, and he immediately came out of the city to properly receive the king. He ordered the musical vibration of different instruments and songs, and the learned brahmanas of the city began to chant the hymns of the Vedas very loudly. Lord Krishna is known as Rishikesha, the master of the senses, and King Yudhishthira went forward and to receive him exactly as the senses need the consciousness of life. King Yudhishthira was the elder cousin of Krishna. Naturally, he had great affection for the Lord, and as soon as he saw him, his heart became filled with great love and affection. He had not seen the Lord for many days, and therefore he thought himself most fortunate to see the Lord present before him. The king therefore embraced Lord Krishna again and again in great affection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So we can see the beautiful, we all know that Krishna has great affection for the Pandavas, and like we always do, we have try to understand in Krishna Katha and Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, "Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshi stina priya ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mai teshu chapyam." Krishna says, Arjuna, I don't envy anyone, nor am I partial to anyone. God means he should be equal to everyone. But even though I am not partial to anyone, I don't envy some, but whoever is engaged in devotional service towards Krishna, Krishna reciprocates and says that I will be a friend to that devotee and I consider that devotee as a friend to me. So this is Krishna's position, that when we are, even though he's similar, he's equal to all the devotees, so every living entity. Because why he's equal? Because each and every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. Mamaivam sajiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. So even though he's equal to all the living entities, but he shows affection towards those devotees who are completely dependent on them. And the devotees, like you can see the Pandavas, they were constantly dependent. They were always looking up to Krishna. They always considered Krishna as their well-wisher, as a best friend. And this is what the mood of the devotees. Why Krishna Katha is so important is because we can understand the mood of the devotee. We can see, like from the Pandavas, how much they had love for Krishna and how Krishna is reciprocating the love. Material world doesn't mean that there will not be problems. It doesn't mean that Krishna's devotees will not have problem. But Krishna's devotees, they're always depending on the mercy of Krishna. They're always engaged in remembering Krishna. And so here we can see that Yudhishthira was so happy hearing that Krishna is there, we has come to the city, and we can see that, when our someone whom we love with all our heart comes, there's nothing, your heart is so joyful, isn't it? Because you have a natural affection for them. So immediately came out of the city to receive the Lord. And you can imagine, like, I remember when sometimes when I take Maharajas when they come to Manor, and I take them to different temples, and it is so joyful for me to see, like, how nicely they receive the Maharaj. They'll play drums, and they'll do the mridanga, and they do the kartals, and so nicely. I was remembering when some of the Maharaj, when I was taking them to the other part of the other temples, and how nicely they were receiving. So similarly here, when Krishna came, Yudhishthira was nicely receiving Krishna with all the musical instruments and everything. And the Brahmanas, you can imagine in those days, the Brahmanas, so they were so highly, knowledgeable about the Vedas. So they chanting the hymns. And one of the name we all know about Krishna's name. Krishna's got so many names. Rishikesha means master of senses. And this is what it is. Rishikena, Rishikesh Sevaya, because the main idea is to engage our senses in serving Rishikesha, the master of the senses. If the master is happy, then our senses become pacified, our senses become happy. And so we can see here that Lord Krishna and Yudhishthir Maharaj went forward to receive him, and it was such an analogy has been given that just like as the senses meet the consciousness of life, and this word consciousness is such an important thing, because, like, when we are in manner in the temple, many times we have very Western people and so many people who are very conscious, who would like to know more about consciousness. They would like to know more about mindfulness. These are the key words that are being used these days, right? They want to understand, like, how do we elevate our consciousness? But imagine Bhagavan Sri Krishna 5,000 years ago explains about consciousness. यथा प्रकाशति एकः कृष्णं लोकम् इमं रवि क्षेत्रं क्षेत्री तथा कृष्णा प्रकाशयते भारत. Bhagavan Sri Krishna so nicely explains, right? He says, Arjuna, just like when the sun appears in the morning, then the whole world is illuminated with sunshine. Similarly, when the soul or the Atma enters into the body of the baby in the womb, immediately the whole body is illuminated with consciousness. So, consciousness is the symptom of the soul, that once the soul enters into the body, immediately the whole body is illuminated by consciousness. And this consciousness, which Prabhupada said, original consciousness is Krishna consciousness. So we are all Krishna conscious in the beginning. In fact, it is mentioned that the baby in the womb of a mother, once it gets the consciousness, once the soul enters the body, and once the consciousness is illuminated, when the baby finds in the womb that it's in such a precarious situation of being upside down, it's almost like doing a Sirsasana yoga posture, like inverted. And the baby prays to Krishna, who's sitting in the heart. Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridesha arjuna tishtati. So the Lord is already sitting in the heart when the baby is there in the womb. And and the baby prays to Krishna, saying that please bring me out of this horrible condition. I'm not able to bear this. I will worship you as soon as I come out. I will worship you all my life. And all the promise that the baby does in the womb of a mother, once the baby comes into this material world, completely it's covered by material energy of Maya, and he forgets about the promise he made to God, to Krishna, who's sitting in the heart, and completely he's immersed in this material world of family members and friends and things like that. But fortunately, by the association of devotees, sometimes we come across a place like Krishna consciousness, like ISKCON, where we once again revive our consciousness. We once again, whatever promise we made to Krishna, we once again reconnect with Krishna by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, by being in the association of devotees. We once again re-energize and reconnect with Krishna. And whatever promise that we made in the as a baby in the womb, we are fulfilling that promise of worshipping and serving Krishna. And this and that's the reason why he's called as Rishikesha, and we are serving our senses in the service of Krishna. In fact, we all know that Maharaj Parikshit, he was given that name of Parikshit because when he was in the womb of his mother, Uttara, and Uttara was in danger. I mean, she was praying to Krishna. There's a Brahmastra, there's a powerful weapon that Ashwatthama has released. Krishna, please kindly save. And Krishna was there in the womb and protected Parikshit Maharaj, and that's the reason why he was given this name Parikshit, because he was inquiring, who's that Supreme Lord who came and was protected me while I was in the womb of my mother. So such a beautiful thing, isn't it? Such a science that we have in this Krishna consciousness. So here we can see that, so this is our natural consciousness, just like the senses meet the consciousness of life, and I wanted to just share about that. So Yudhishthira, as we know, is an elder cousin of Krishna, and he had great affection for the Lord. And as he saw, his heart was filled with great love and affection. So this is the thing, isn't it? But between divine souls and demoniac. So divine souls, like the one of the qualities of divine people is they just, their hearts are vibrating with love. They have so much of love towards Krishna. They always want to engage in serving Krishna. So the king, the Yudhishthira, embraced Lord Krishna again in great affection. So so we have to understand why was Krishna showing so much of love for Pandavas? Because Pandavas had all those divine qualities which the Krishna likes in any person, right? So even though they were trying to kill the Pandavas, they tried to set them on fire. In spite of that, here is Arjuna saying that Krishna, why should we go and kill? Katam Bhishmam Aham Sanke Dronam Cha Madhusudana Ishubi Pratiyotsyami Pujarva Arisudana. Imagine they were like actually silent witness when the Draupadi was being disrobed, and Bhishma didn't do anything, Drona didn't do anything. They should actually supported the Pandavas, right? But they didn't do anything. They were like silent spectators, in spite of being so unfair. And they were such nice people. Still here, Arjuna, he's saying, how can I go and kill people like Bhishma and Drona who are worthy of my worship, Krishna? So that is the mood of devotees. So they had all these beautiful divine qualities which made Krishna very, show a lot of affection towards him. Krishna gives a list in Bhakti Yoga, lift all so many qualities that he loves to see in his devotees. And this is what we can understand from Krishna Katha. Why was Krishna so dear to the Pandavas? Because they had great qualities. In Bhakti Yoga, which is the most precious yoga in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna doesn't mention that I want elaborate fire sacrifices, I want elaborate puja to be done. He doesn't say anything. He says, Advaita Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karunai Vacha Nirmamo Nirahankara Samadukka Sukashami Santusta Satatam Yogi Yatatma Dardanishyaha Mayarpito Mano Buddhi Yomad Bhakta Same Priyaha. Beautiful qualities that we are there. These are the qualities we have to nourish, not being envious, being a kind friend to all the living entities, and not being with false ego, being tolerant, self-satisfied. So these are the qualities, and being great determination in bhakti life. Because you see, sometimes when in the temple, the weather is so bad, but in spite of the bad weather, people come to the mandir, and I feel so inspired when I see them. That is real determination, isn't it? No matter how bad the weather is, I want to go and see Krishna. Like say today, even our devotees here who are assembled, you're juggling so many things in your life, but still, no, Thursday evening we want to attend the Krishna Katha. This determination was what Krishna says. I just love Dridha Nischaya. one of the qualities, Dhritanishya, very having determination that, yes, I want to see Krishna and I want to hear about Krishna. So that is one of the beautiful qualities. So I just want to give my thoughts on why Krishna was so dear to Yudhishthira and why Yudhishthira had so much of love for Krishna. So can I ask anyone if you can read the next one? The eternal form of Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, Pavan Prabhu, please.
Hare Krishna. The eternal form of Lord Krishna is the everlasting residence of Goddess of Fortune. As soon as King Yudhishthira embraced him, he became free from all the contamination of material existence. He immediately felt transcendental bliss and merged in an ocean of happiness. There were tears in his eyes, and his body shook in ecstasy. He completely forgot that he was living in this material world. After this, Bhimasena, the second brother of the Pandavas, smiled and embraced Lord Krishna, thinking of him as his own maternal cousin, and thus he also merged in great ecstasy. Bhimasena was so filled with ecstasy that, for the time being, he forgot his material existence. The Lord Krishna himself embraced the other three Pandavas, Arjuna, Nakula, and Sahadeva. The eyes of all three brothers were inundated with tears, and Arjuna embraced Krishna again and again because they were intimate friends. The two younger Pandava brothers, after being embraced by Lord Krishna, fell down at his feet to offer their respects. Do you want me to continue, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please,
Lord
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Lord Krishna thereafter offered his obeisances to the Brahmanas present, as well as to the elder members of the Kuru dynasty, like Bhimasena, Drona, and Dhritarashtra. There were many kings of different provinces, such as Kuru, Srinjaya, and Kekaya, and Lord Krishna duly reciprocated greetings and respects with them. The professional reciters like the Sutas, Magadas, and Vandis, accompanied by the Brahmanas, offered their respectful prayers to the Lord. Performing artists like the Gandharvas as well as the royal jokers began to play their Panava drums, conch shell, kettle drums, veenas, mridangas, and bugles, and they exhibited their dancing art to please the Lord. Thus the all famous supreme personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, entered the great city of Hastinapura, which was opulent in every respect. While Lord Krishna was entering the city, all the people talked among themselves about the glories of the Lord, praising his transcendental name, qualities, form, and so on. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Wonderful reading, Prabhuji. Very nice. So one of the beautiful things that we can understand is here we can see like once Krishna is entered into the Hastinapur, how Lord Yudhishthira embracing and all the Pandavas embracing them, and the kind of exchange of love that was happening between Krishna, because we have to understand at the end of that, we are all spirit souls, right? And what is the nature of Krishna? What is the nature of the super soul or Paramatma? Satchit Ananda. He's eternal, he's full of bliss and full of knowledge. And when we as Atmas or as spirit soul, when we come in contact with the Paramatma, we are part and parcel of the Lord. So actually, the Atma also being part and parcel of the Lord is meant to be. Today only I was just reading Prabhupada mentioning, since we are part and parcel of the Krishna, we are meant to be full of joy and full of knowledge. And of course, we are eternal as well, because we know from Bhagavad Gita, na jayate mrite va kadachin, that the Atma never comes into being. The birthday is only for the body, but not for the Atma. So you can see the natural, this thing is when the Pandavas were meeting the Krishna, it is like Atma's meeting with the Paramatma. So this is the combination. So Prabhupada mentioned very nicely that when he explained about chanting, what we are trying to do is we are trying to find happiness in this material nature, but but we are of a spiritual nature, and we are trying to find happiness in the material nature, but this is an incompatible situation. It's not a compatible situation. We are trying to exploit the inferior material energy and trying to find happiness in that, and that is not at all a compatible situation at all. But Atma meeting the Paramatma is the most natural form of combination. So when the Atma meets the Paramatma, the natural thing that comes out of it is full of joy and full of bliss, which is what we are seeing here in the Pandavas. When the Pandavas meeting Krishna, this is the most natural. Atma with the Paramatma is the most natural kind of a bonding, and that's why we can see so much of happiness. Whereas we in this material world, we are finding that the more we are trying to find happiness in material things, we are finding that more we are getting frustrated and we get disappointed. We get so many things, and we get entangled and so many things. And again, that's a cause of again our bondage as well. But when we see that in our spiritual life, in our devotional life, when we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we find a natural sense of love that we slowly start down, because the whole purpose of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is to cleanse your heart, cleanse your mind, and awaken the love for Krishna. And when that love is awakened, nothing in the world will give us that kind of a joy of what Krishna gives us within heart by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha. Visaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavajyam rasopasta param dristva nivartante. Param dristva, when you experience a higher taste, then you will be able to give up all the lower tastes. So here, the highest taste is when we are completely in association with the devotees, when we are engaging in serving Krishna, when we are engaging in devotional service towards Krishna. That is the highest form of engagement. And this is, we can see that through the Pandavas, we can understand just like how Krishna was there in person, but we also know that in Kali Yuga, Krishna is come in the form of this transcendental sound vibration. Kalikale Nama Rupa Krishna Avatar. That means Krishna has come in the form of transcendental sound vibration. So there is no difference between what Pandavas seeing Krishna in person and actually this Hare Krishna Mahamantra that we are all chanting. But it's only that we have not come to that stage where we can have the Nama Ruchi, because there are stages of chanting, right? Nama Parada, Nama Vyasa, and then finally Nama Ruchi. So finally it comes to that. But when we come to that stage of Nama Ruchi where we are offenseless chanting, then we will be able to experience that kind of a Ruchi or that kind of thing which this Vaishnavas, the senior Vaishnavas experience. So here, Krishna is nicely embracing the Pandavas, and you can see the joy that Bhimasena was experiencing, all the Pandavas are experiencing, obviously. And here, like Krishna is the perfect king, again offering obeisances to the Brahmanas present. Imagine, even though he's the king, he's the Lord of the universe, still he's doing his perfectly a dharma. So this is what we have to understand, that when we are living in this world, we have to do our dharma. And while we are carrying out our dharma, if there are any kind of disturbances that are happening, we should learn to tolerate. And this is the reason why Krishna says, Matra sparsas tu kaunteya, shitosna sukha dukkada, agama payino nitya stam titiksa. So Arjuna, you have to do your dharma, your Kshatriya dharma. And while you are doing your Kshatriya dharma, there will be some temporary appearance of happiness and distress, loss again. They just like the summer season, they come and go. So don't go to, you should learn to tolerate and learn to accept them while you're doing your dharma. So Krishna, so nicely, you can see that how all the kings were present out there, and Krishna was reciprocating the greetings with the kings. We can see like how even in those days we had the veenas and mridangas. We can see how nicely, isn't it? From Dwapar Yuga, the held culture, Vedic culture is being followed. That even today we have veena, we have mridanga, we have some of these drums and conch shell. We have it in the mandir. We have conch shells. Isn't it so beautifully that everything is getting still the Vedic culture is to some extent is being still followed, isn't it? And even now, when we go for a Harinam Sankirtan on the streets of London, we can literally see people literally from the pubs and bars and wherever hearing the mridanga beat, they just come out. So this shows that even though their consciousness is polluted and they're trying to find happiness in sense enjoyment and all that, still because the effect of mridanga, the effect of the harinam is so powerful that because end of the day, even though their consciousness is polluted, they're all inside, there are spirit souls. And that spirit soul, once it hears the harinam, immediately it's pulling them out of the pubs to you come and dance in ecstasy. I have literally seen that in London. When I go for Harinam Sankirtan, they may be drunk, they may be like literally alcoholic guys, but when they hear the mrudanga and when they hear the Harinam, they literally come out and they literally dance. Sometimes I have seen that they don't even allow us to go away. They say like, no, 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 please be here and dance. We please do the kirtan. We will come. Will dance along with you. So that is the power of the Harinam. That is the power. We think that something where mridanga which was played in Dwapara Yuga, still it's being played and still it is giving joy to the people. Because end of the day, deep inside, everyone is a spirit soul. So now we can see that Krishna has entered the great city of Hastinapur, which is very opulent, and we can see the people in Hastinapur, they were talking about the Lord and praising his transcendental pastime. Krishna is known for all his so many beautiful pastimes, isn't it? And the people were And this is how we have to spend our time actually talking about Krishna. Matchitta madgata pranam bodhayante paraswaram katayantyascha mam nityam tusyanti charamanti cha. Krishna himself tells in Bhagavad Gita, my devotees, they're always thinking about me, and they get great happiness and joy by always enlightening each other about me. So this is what, as the main objective of a satsang, the main objective of coming to the mandir, as part of why did Krishna Prabhupada start this ISKCON, International Society of Krishna Consciousness, so that these are the spiritual platforms where all the like-minded devotees come there and speak about Krishna, exchange about Krishna's glories, and speak about, and this is what they were doing, and this is what we can learn from Krishna Katha, where the people of Hastinapur, they were just coming out there and praising his transcendental quality, and this is what we have to learn from Krishna Katha, learn from the Leelas, and this is how we have to spend our time speaking about the beautiful Leelas of Krishna. Can I ask anyone if they can read the next one as well? Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Gayatri Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can I try, Prabhuji?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji. The roads, streets, and lanes of Hastinapura were all sprinkled with fragrant water through the trunks of intoxicated elephants. In different places of the city, there were colorful festoons and flags decorating the houses and streets. At important crossroads, there were gates with golden decorations, and at the two sides of the gates there were golden water jugs. These beautiful decorations glorified the opulence of the city. Participating in this great ceremony, all the citizens gathered here and there, dressed in colorful new clothing and decorated with ornaments, flower garlands, and fragrant scents. The houses were all illuminated by hundreds and thousands of lamps placed in different corners of the cornices, walls, columns, bases, and architraves. And from far away, the rays of the lamps appeared to be celebrating the festival of Deepavali, a particular festival observed on the New Year's Day of the Hindu calendar. Within the walls of the houses, fragrant incense was burning, and smoke rose through the windows, making the entire atmosphere very pleasing. On the top of every house, flags were flapping, and the golden water pots kept on the roofs shone brilliantly. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna, Mataji. I mean, while you're just reading, Mataji, we can just bring to mind, we can visualize how beautiful the times of Dwapara Yuga, isn't it? And we think like, people in maybe in the other part of the world, they just think about evolution and how it was like, because they're never seen that kind of opulence. But at that point of time, we have to understand during the Dwapara Yuga, the whole world was centered around this place called Hastinapur. That was like the main center and a very, very known place and a very important place on the planet itself at that point of time where all the action was happening in Hastinapur. Can you believe it? At that point of time, this was the place where you can, at that point of time, maybe in the different part of the world, there was no development at all. But here, that was the most buzzing place, and that was the place where all the history was unfolding at the time. And in the place of Hastinapur, and like I was mentioning, there is actually a voice that has been somebody has presented an MP in India, like saying that we should get back um, to call Delhi with the old name of Indraprastha, or so maybe I don't know whether it's likely to going to happen or not, but we can see like how those names are also so beautiful in this, isn't it? Indraprastha, Hastinapur, and some of those places are so beautiful. Of course, Mathura and all, they still remain to be the same. But here we can see in the different parts of the city, like how the opulence, the kind of like imagine the roads we being sprinkled by fragrant water by the elephants and decorations, all the different decorations, and how even the citizens were gathered. So it is giving us an idea that during the time of Dwapara Yuga, how beautiful, how elaborate, and what kind of opulences were there, and during the festival time, and even today, some festivals are being carried out, but the original thing we can just bring to mind the way people were celebrating at that point of time. Very, very beautiful. Nothing more to add on that. So we'll just go with the one more paragraph if anyone would like to read.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Lord Krishna thus entered the city of the Pandavas enjoyed the beautiful atmosphere and slowly proceeded ahead. When the young girl in every house heard that Lord Krishna, the only object worth seeing, was passing on the road, they were very eager to see this all famous personality. Their hair loosened and their tightened saris become sick due to their hesitating to see him. They gave up their household engagement, and those who were lying in bed with their husband immediately left them and came directly down onto the street to see Lord Krishna. The procession of elephant, horses, chariot, and infantry was very crowded. Some of the girls, being unable to see properly in the crowd, got up on the road of the house. Sorry, there was some white houses. Pleased to see Lord Sri Krishna passing with his thousands of queens. They showered flower on the procession, embraced Lord Krishna within their mind, and gave him a hearty reception. When they saw him in the midst of his many queens, like the full moon situated amidst many luminaries, they began to talk amongst themselves.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much. So we can see here Lord Krishna entering into the Hastinapur along with the Pandavas, and how beautifully the Pandavas were receiving, because they were the joy. Krishna was the joy of their heart. And here we have Krishna and being a cousin of the Pandavas, and how fortunate they are to have Lord Krishna as the cousin, isn't it? And we can see like how the girls and everybody were like so attracted by Krishna, as we know that Krishna was actually came to Hastinapur along with all the 16,000 queens that he had. And of course, the principal queen is Rukmani Devi. And we can see like how even the girls were, they were so eager, because we have to understand here, because even though the girl, we can see this paragraph talking about the girls being very eager to see, and how they were just rushing, and people who could, and the girls who could not see Krishna, they were going to the top of the roof to see him. And this we can imagine, isn't it? That's what happened even today. Like if some celebrity is going and we cannot see, we just go to the top of the terrace and try to see the person, whoever is the very famous. So we can see like even at that point of time, here is the supreme lord of the universe. To what to speak about, just a celebrity itself could be attractive, and Lord Krishna is the most attractive, right? The very name Krishna means all attractive in Sanskrit. So we can see like how they were rushing in to go and see the Krishna, in irrespective of their situation, whether they were just there with their husbands or not, they were just rushing on the street to see Krishna. So this is the point about Krishna. Sarva akarshiti iti Krishna. Krishna attracts everyone, whether it is like the people are on the who they're standing on the roads, or people are sitting in the houses. As soon as they got to know that Krishna was walking over there. And if you remember, this was the mood of the people of Mathura. You remember, like when the beginning, when we were talking about Krishna enters into Mathura with Balaram, and they were like they were throwing petals on Krishna, and everybody were like rushing to the balcony to go and just have a glimpse of Krishna. So that is what is Krishna. Krishna is the most attractive, and everybody were like, the joy of the heart. So because why? Because this is the most natural attraction of Atma with the Paramatma. So everybody is so joyful to see Krishna. And such a nice comparison is being made, like they were finding like Krishna, like just imagine a beautiful moon in the middle of all the stars, like. So that was the kind of a situation where Krishna was looking so beautiful in the mind, and they were giving, and people who were the queens, they showered flowers and they embraced Lord Krishna within the mind and gave him a hearty reception. So this is the thing, right? So when we this Krishna Katha kind of like, it purifies our consciousness, it purifies, and it kind of gives us a vision of how beautiful it must have been at that time of Dwarka, and how beautiful Krishna must have been looking, that people were just rushing. Because unless we read Krishna Katha, how can we even know how beautiful Krishna was, and how can we understand, how can we develop the love for Krishna? Only by seeing the devotees' love towards Krishna, right? So that is why Krishna Katha is so important, because it purifies our mind, it purifies our consciousness. When we see the devotees devotees, how nicely they were embracing Krishna, or how nicely they were getting joyful when they see Krishna. So I'll just read one small one before we close. One girl said to another, "My dear friend, it is very difficult to guess what kind of pious activities these queens have performed, for they're always enjoying the smiling face and loving glances of Krishna. While Lord Krishna was thus passing on the road, at intervals some of the citizens who were all rich, respectable, and freed from all sinful activities presented auspicious articles to the Lord just to offer him a reception to the city. Thus they worshipped him as humble servitors." So this is the thing, right? So you can see, like, at that point of time, even though there were so many rich people, and even the girls also, the kind of curiosity that have, like, the 16,000 queens, what did they do that they could get such a kind of someone like Krishna, and to be associating with Krishna, and the smiling loving glances of Krishna. So obviously that's the thing, right? One of the things that makes us very dear to Krishna. Prabhupada used to say, like, his guru used to say, like, don't try to see Krishna, but live your life in such a way that Krishna will come and see you. So we all have to take this message from our Guru Parampara, that more than Krishna has already given what are the qualities that he loves to see in a Guru. Just put it like a pin up on the board, like Advaita, like I mentioned, like Advaita Sarva Bhutanam. These are the qualities Krishna says he loves in his devotees. Pin it up, develop those, nourish those qualities, embrace those beautiful qualities that Krishna likes. And when we do that, then Krishna will grace us, he will show mercy towards us, and he will become our best friend, because he says, right, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam, I am your best well-wisher, I am your best friend. So Krishna is already our best friend. But how do we show that we are best friend for Krishna? By nourishing the qualities that Krishna likes to see in all of us, by engaging Rishikesa Sevaya, just engaging our senses in serving Krishna. And the best way to serve Krishna is by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because when we're chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's a prayer where we're praying to Krishna, please engage us in your devotional service. This is the best engagement. And in that way, we can get that kind of an association. Like even Narad Muni, we know that Narad Muni was a maid servant's son. But why in this life he had such kind of a position to be an instrument in a part of Krishna's Leela? Why? Because he developed such kind of a love for Krishna by hearing about Krishna. Srinutam Swata Katha Krishna, by hearing about Krishna. And that is what we are also trying to do. We are trying to hear Krishna, and through hearing Krishna, to develop that love for Krishna. And this is the way we purify our consciousness, develop those qualities. And by developing those qualities, we become very creative Krishna, close to Krishna. So we can see that even the people who are very rich, when Krishna was passing on the road, and even the most respectful and people, they were just offering all the auspicious article of Krishna, and they were as humble servitors. This is the most important thing to understand. Krishna never likes, when Duryodhana invited Krishna for a royal Rajabhoga, Krishna refused to go. But when Vidura invited Krishna for a meal, Krishna went to his home. And in that love, when he was peeling the skin of the banana and he just gave the skin of the banana, Krishna was even eating that. Because why? Because Krishna was only seeing the love of his devotees. That's why he says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam Yome Bhakta Prayachati Tadaham Bhakti Upahritam Asnami Prayatatma. Even a flower, a leaf, or tulsi leaf, or a water, a flower, fruit, tulsi leaf, or water, if you offer with love and devotion, I will surely accept it. And I always say that we are always been taking so many things for Krishna. Krishna has already been doing so many things for us. But here in Krishna consciousness is, what can we do for Krishna? And that starts with a simple offering of a patram pushpam palam toyam. In that way, we can just practice that. And this is what we are trying to do in manner. Whenever we are there, we just trying to make sure we make everybody, all the visitors, doesn't matter, give a simple sloka of Bhagavad Gita and make everybody chant that Patram Pushpam Palam. We are doing it from the last, quite some time, maybe more than a year or a year or two. Basically, just to plant that seed in everybody's heart, just learn one sloka, just one sloka at least you recite. Krishna will reciprocate, because he says, Neha Vikramana Sosti Prachavayona Vidyate Swalpam Abhyasya. If you do a little thing for me, I will never forget, and that will save us from the great dangers. Like Krishna, whatever he advises in Bhagavad Gita is for our own good. Swalpam abhyasya dharmasya trayito mahadava. It will save you from all the dangers of life by offering to Krishna. So by doing everything to Krishna, we are doing the greatest favor to ourselves, because Krishna says that will protect us from all the dangers. By serving Krishna, it will protect us from it. So Krishna is doing everything for our own good, saying that do this because it will help you. Do this so that you can come back to me. In every way, Bhagavad Gita is full of offerings for Krishna, where he telling, do this so that you will be saved. Do this so that you can come back to me. So on that note, I would like to just stop here. We little bit of maybe a couple of paragraphs, but we will just park that for next week, so that then we can continue with the nectar, and then we will continue with another chapter. So I will stop here and open for any other things. One other thing which I wanted to just share with you before I open the floor, I just want to show you something very beautiful over here. And this is a box which I got last Sunday, and I want to just share with you because other only devotees can understand some of these things. So what is there inside this box? There is dust of Vrindavan. And how did I get this dust or the soil from Vrindavan? It so happened, Sunday I was there in the Goshala, because Goshala on Sundays I do the Go Puja. And I was just standing over there, and a couple, they came to me, and I had never seen those couple before. And they came and gave me this thing that, Prabhuji, we were searching for you in the temple, and we couldn't find you. And I thought maybe we're just passing by, and luckily we got you here. We're coming all the way from Swindon, and we got this soil from Vrindavan. And the reason why we got this is, and later the mother, the lady, Mataji, she opened herself. She said, for a few months I was in depression, and I was going through a very bad phase, and my husband was there, and he was just trying to support me. And we came to the mandir, and we were listening to the Bhagavad Gita talks that we were giving, because after Aarti I was giving the Bhagavad Gita talks, and they were coming all the way, and because they were enjoying the Bhagavad Gita sessions, they started coming a few times to the mandir. And she said, like, after listening again and again, coming to the mandir and listening to Bhagavad Gita and listening to the kirtans and all that, I would just come out of my depression. And as an offering, we went to Vrindavan. We took the darshan of Lord Krishna, and we wanted to just come and thank you for lifting us, bringing us out of this depression. So as a gratitude, we just wanted to share this dust of Vrindavan. And I did not have any words. I was just like dumbstruck to see, like, sometimes we just speak from our heart, but we don't know. Krishna makes us, we are just like parrots. Krishna makes us speak words, and we don't know what in front of Krishna, what he may make us. Even a dumb person can speak any words in front of Krishna, because he is empowering us. We are nothing, just what even Arjuna real. So when they gave me this dust of Vrindavan, I said, like, my mandir is now having all Lord Jagannath, and and even Gaurnita have come just a couple of weeks before, and now the dust of Vrindavan has come here. So I just wanted to share with devotees, because only devotees can appreciate these things. A materialistic person will never understand the importance of it. So just wanted to share. So very, very joyful to just share with our devotees. Like, sometimes the Lord shows His mercy and His favor to even fallen souls like me, saying that, oh, so it's okay. We just want to bring just the dust of Vrindavan, let it come home. So thank you so much, devotees. It's because of you that the inspiration for me comes to speak in the mandir, and because of we listening to the Krishna Katha, that with that love that I go and speak sometimes. And yeah, if you can help devotees, what else? Each one of us, yad yad achariti shrestha tat tad ebe tarojana shrayat pramanam kurte lokas tad anuvartete. So Krishna himself says that all of us can be like ambassadors of Krishna consciousness. Pray to Krishna, pray to Prabhupada, give us your mercy and make us speak like parrots. Let us be an instrument in your seva. And Krishna will empower us to do whatever we can. We are just like small instruments in his seva. So on that note, I just wanted to open the floor for any realizations, corrections from today's session. Anything that anyone would like to. Amaga Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you Prabhuji. It's a very beautiful session Prabhuji. I'm just relishing hearing Krishna Katha while you are immersing yourself in ecstasy and describing all pastimes. Okay, thank you so much Prabhuji. I think Indulekha Mataji was trying to share some info.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we were just talking about. I just wanted to go next on that. Indulekha Mataji, you wanted to share?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, you were talking about going on Harinam in London. When I was in London, we used to go every Saturday. And then we go to Chinatown, we go under the channel, we go in the underground and everywhere. And people would be drinking, would be like laughing at us, mocking us. But for us, it was fun until 11 o'clock reaching home at night. Every Saturday, that was our from South London to Soho Temple. Yes, Prabhuji, I was talking about sharing a picture of Krishna Balaram in from Shranagati, where we went last week. It was very, very beautiful. It is very beautiful, actually. And the devotees there, and they have the Ghia cows, and they have Zebu cows, and they have normal cows. And I think Gayatri Mataji has been also, she can also share. But what was amazing is there was a white Labrador dog, and he was running around and around, and then we had one young devotee with two young devotees actually with us, and one of them they're both initiated, and then one of them was talking about dog and what we should do. The other one started arguing, and then we closed that conversation. In the class, Sunday feast class, the Mataji who was talking, she talked about Shiva Sena. What's his name?
Shivasena Balthakari?
Shivananda Sen, associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Okay.
He had a dog. He didn't have a dog. A dog followed him. And then what did he do? The dog followed him. And when for a month, they were walking. There was no facilities for reaching another area. For the 1 month, he was feeding the dog. And then one day, the dog just disappeared. And he got so frantic. Now, the question is coming from Tuesday's class, where Jai Mataji was talking about Bharat Maharaj with the deer. And then one question was raised, I think, from Ramlala Prabhu. He said, should we ignore the animal, or should we neglect the animal, or should we take care of the animal? That's when the point came into my mind. That Shivananda Sen, he did not eat that day when he didn't see the dog. So he sent 10 people in the old direction, go and find the dog. And then he couldn't find the dog. He fasted. The following morning, after doing his service, he came out and he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is feeding the dog with coconut pulp. And he's just throwing the coconut pulp up, and the dog is just catching it. But he was not giving for free. He was saying, say Hare Krishna. And the dog would kind of, from his throat, would make some noise like Hare Krishna. And she was speaking so nicely. And then we were looking at each other. This morning, we were having a discussion about it. Now look what is coming in front of us. So we should, and then also we know Yudhishthira Maharaj, dog followed him until last minute when he was leaving his mother's where he was going. So the point is, we should not neglect, we should not ignore an animal, but we should not get attached also. That is the point. If feed the animal, yes, you don't get attached to the animal. Yes. My experience in the Shranagati was really, really nice. And the Bhagavatam class in the morning, Monday morning, they had a fireplace. They would put mat on the floor. We'll sit around that, and everybody will read one sloka, and then we all will discuss around that sloka. It was really mesmerizing, and I really love that place. And I would say, whoever gets a chance, please do go. The people there are just so nice, the devotees, so caring. Everybody will come and sit with you, will talk, and we wanted to know the history of the place. And we had all the knowledge that we wanted to. All the questions were answered by them. So yes, Prabhuji, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share with all of you. And the Tulsi Maharani is so beautiful. So beautiful. Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you. Nice. I will share one or two pictures on the chat, please.
Oh yeah, definitely. Please share, Mataji. Yeah. Very nice. One of the things, Mataji, as you mentioned, which is very, very important, that, you know, when they will be like here in the manor also, we have some thousand, so many people come to the manor, every people who are just out of curiosity. Today I was taking some Western devotees, you know, like showing them about the temple tour, and they were like so amazed that in Hinduism, they were like so surprised that so much of spiritual knowledge is there, so much of flavor. They didn't even know about that cows, how to take care of the cow. They didn't know about our books. They didn't know about so many things. They were like so amazed that they said like, you know, this is just an experience which we have never even thought about it, that this place is like such a spiritually vibrant place. But I think very, as you mentioned, as you mentioned, it's very important, like how the people, you know, like the devotees, how you make them feel, how much of attention, how the caringness, kindness, compassion. I think these things are so important for us as devotees, like, you know, being supporting each other, helping each other, lifting us shoulder to shoulder, and just develop those loving relationship with each other. Not that we are just blindly, each person is just thinking like I'm following Krishna consciousness, but about developing those relationships with each other devotees, right? That is something which is so important for us.
Yes,
And
Prabhuji,
for me, at
those
least, yeah.
qualities of existence in us, but it's dormant. When we come to Krishna consciousness, then it's revived. All the qualities are revived. And the amazing thing is, there was not a single Asian devotee there. All of them are white.
Yeah.
We saw one Prabhuji and one young girl on Sunday feast. That's it. That's it. That's also, and they don't live there. They come from other places. And in that area, there are lots of Asian, like Indian people. And my daughter was telling me, I saw many Indian people, but nobody in the temple. And I said, you know what? They come for business. Shop, gold mines. They are going. They are in their a mine there. They are just extracting from the river for business, right? But not for the actual thing that should be there. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, so important, Mataji. So it's so important for all of us to share our experiences, our realizations, and anything to clarify doubts, because we all have devotees who can share with each other. Because the most important thing is, because what I feel is like if we have some doubts in our mind, that those doubts don't allow us to progress further in bhakti life. So devotees association, one of the thing is inspiring each other, motivating each other, supporting each other. And also if any cobwebs of doubts are there, because they don't allow us to progress further, so clarify those doubts and get them out of the way. Like, you know, like people who are like totally new to Krishna consciousness or have never know much about Krishna Katha, they would have heard about something somewhere about Krishna. Oh, he's there with the gopi. So they don't understand the depth of knowledge. They don't understand from a spiritual point of view. And because of those cobwebs, they just keep away from everything. They don't want to go near Krishna consciousness because they don't have that, because they're stuck with whatever they heard from Google or somewhere. So very important, like for devotees, especially for us to share all the knowledge with others. Many times people are like, oh, like one of the devotee, one person visitor, he came and said like, oh, you Hare Krishna people, you are ignoring Radharani, you never speak about Radharani. And it's like, Prabhuji, do you know what Hare means? Hara is another name of Radharani. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. I said, yeah, that's why it's very important to a mandir, you come and ask and clarify your doubts. And because of I clarified that doubt, now he's like at peace. Okay, oh, that's what okay. So they're not ignoring Radharani. Actually, they first referring to Radharani first in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So like that, a lot of people, they are stuck up because they have these doubts in their mind, and it doesn't allow them to progress further. So, but we have to clarify all the doubts and just, so that our mind can be completely at peace when we are chanting and, progressing further in the association of devotees. Any other points? Swarup Prabhuji, Pavan Prabhu, anything you would like to add?
Very nice class, Prabhu, as always. So much of nectar, so nicely you put together everything. It's amazing. I have no more questions, Prabhu. It's very nice, as always.
Thank you, Swarup Prabhu. You're such a wonderful devotee. On Saturdays, sometimes I have his association, but so nicely, Swarup Prabhuji comes to the mandir and, be part of the kirtan. Whoever is doing the kirtan, he's like a wonderful supporting them. And, it's such a joy actually whenever I see him. So it's always Prabhuji, very nice.
Prabhu, it's always my good fortune to get your association, Prabhu.
Gayatri ji, anything would you like to add? Thank you for giving us your...
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm so happy Indulekha Mataji went to Sharanagati. We had been there last year, last May, so it was beautiful there. The whole, it's a big valley itself. They have made into like it's dedicated to Srila Prabhupada. It's so beautiful. All the small lanes have been named after Srila Prabhupada, and there is a hill which is named as Govardhana Hill, and it's just beautiful, Prabhuji. When we went there, it was like I didn't want to come back at all. Like I just wanted to stay there, but I'm happy that Indulekha Mataji could visit, and it's so pretty there. It's just like you don't want to come back to this normal world again.
Normal
Like
world.
that's how. Yes, yeah. This is, I mean, I don't know which one is normal, but yeah, this abnormal world, I must say. Yeah,
We
this
already,
abnormal world.
yes,
Yeah,
Mataji,
so,
we
yeah.
already planned our next visit.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, yeah,
and also, Prabhuji, you were mentioning about the deities, like the picture which I have right now in
yeah.
my profile picture, that is the deities which we have at home. So,
Oh, wow.
I named, I gave them a name. I call them Radha Langfordeshwar because we live in Langford.
Okay.
So, after I'm
Hari
copying
bol,
London.
Hari bol. I didn't know that. Hari bol.
Oh,
That's
Mataji, I mentioned once. I don't know you were there in the meeting or not, but I mentioned now I sing at home Radha Langfordeshwar, Jai Radha Langfordeshwar. So, and
so
also
beautiful.
the deities which I share you every day. That is from the ISKCON Vancouver temple, Prabhuji.
Very
That
nice.
is
Very nice.
it's a Radha Madan Mohan so deities. So that's all, Prabhuji, I wanted to say. And your class, as usual, it's wonderful to hear from you all the time. Like we always enjoy every Thursday. We are looking forward for your class, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for a wonderful class. Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much, Mataji. And that is so personal, isn't it? Langfordeshwar. I mean,
Yes,
this is what Krishna wants. You know, Krishna doesn't want us to have a curtain of between us and Krishna. He wants us to be close to him. He wants us to just call him with his personal. That's why he comes in so many forms as Laddu Gopal, as Dwarkadesh, and as Jagannath, in whichever form you want. But just be close to me and just call me with. It's just like how we called with such a nice pet name. Just like how we have Londoneshwar, we have Langfordeshwar.
Langford.
Such a beautiful. This is what Krishna
I
wants.
copied Prabhuji always from because now I got connected to Lund, like all you devotees, exalted devotees. I'm just copying a small
Oh,
insignificant
this is what
copying.
Mataji. That is just the love that you have for Krishna, and that's so beautiful. I mean, I'm so I so feel so happy the way you named Krishna Langfordeshwar after
Yes.
any place that he.
At my place we have Laddu Gopal. We call
Uh,
him Chotu. We never say Laddu, we call Chotu. Because more. I don't ever say.
between
He
keeping
wants
Krishna
something.
somewhere and keeping Krishna close to heart and calling him with your own loving names,
Yes.
Krishna prefers the second one.
Yeah. Okay, you want something for Chotu? I'm going to stop. You want something? You want a Chotu? Only Chotu. That's it.
Mataji, I was just one of her Mataji, I was just dropping her to the airport, and she just requested, can you drop me to the airport? And she had Laddu Gopal with her. And when I was booking with ticket for her, so I said like I just chosen a place on the flight where the next seat is empty. And that was in the initial time, and I thought maybe later somebody else will book the seat. So after I left it with the security in the airport, and I just came back, and she messaged me saying that, Prabhuji, do you know how lucky we are? My Laddu Gopal has got a separate seat next to me. There's nobody has taken that seat, so my Laddu Gopal is happily sitting in his own seat. I mean, I was like, it is such a joyful thing, isn't it? How devotees when you share these leelas, right? And she taken Laddu Gopal with her, and the next seat is empty, so she nicely gave a seat for Laddu Gopal. So these are the joys that we have with the devotees, and this our forum is mainly to share all these beautiful things will happen in all our lives.
I
Some
always take the seat by the window so that I can put him on the And the next time I him his shawl, so even if it hits your back and the floor, my shawl is covered. Nobody
Yeah.
sees it.
That's what, right? That's what Krishna wants, actually. And that's what, Mataji, you see the Damodar Leela is also like that, isn't it? Like he was happily sitting in Mother Yashoda's lap. And when Mother Yashoda suddenly went to, look into the milk that was overflowing, and he was not happy with that because he was like, he was craving for that love and he was happily sitting, and 1 minute Krishna was sitting in the lap of Mother Yashoda, and suddenly she left him and he didn't like it. How could you leave me like this? I mean, so the Leelas has like so much of nectar to tell us that this is the kind of loving relation that Krishna wants with all of us, right? He wants us to be just personal, just like how Mother Yashoda, the Damodar Leela itself tells us, like, this Krishna wants all the attention. He wants us to just love him, like how Mother Yashoda was keeping him in her lap and nicely singing the songs and just churning the butter. And so these Leelas are basically telling us, like, this is how I want my relationship with the devotees. I want my devotees to cuddle me, take me around, show me around, call me nice pet names, and experience that love. And that's how we can, and that's the only way we can, by developing that kind of love as Chotu and Lagfordeshwar. And this is the only way we can remember Krishna towards the end of our life. Otherwise, how can we remember? And only when we develop that kind of love, then that's when I was telling in the beginning, like when Krishna says that if we forget, Krishna says, I will remember my devotee and take them back. So on that note, if there's any other further comment, no further comments, I want to just thank you. Neeraj Prabhu, sorry, I know, but it's towards the end, but you still made it. You're another wonderful devotee. Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Paritosh Prabhu, you have anything to say? Paritosh Prabhu is very, very humble, and you can see, like, he does such nice sevas. He gets attracted to the kirtans, and he's all over the place in manner, nicely spending time with the devotees, and doing whatever seva he can. So
Hare Krishna, Sham. How are you? Thank you
yeah,
very much. Brilliant, brilliant once again. Excellent stuff.
Thank you. We'll see you on the weekend.
We'll
Prabhu.
see you Saturday. Yes,
Yeah.
Saturday, definitely. Today's what, Thursday?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. No, well done. Nice one. Very good. I love your mandir.
Yeah.
Hey, you got Shiva with Parvati, Shiva and Parvati and Brahma there.
Shiva, Parvati, and Brahma, where?
There with the snake.
No, I think
in front of the books.
In front of the books here? Or here?
Yeah, down. Yeah.
That is Lord Vishnu.
I mean, sorry, Vishnu, Parvati, and
no,
did you get that
Lakshmi
from the temple?
Yeah, from the temple, Lakshmi Devi.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get that. I've been reluctant. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. That's why. So morning when I'm reciting Vishnu Sahasranam, so that's why. Okay.
Yeah, I might get it. Thank you very much. Pranam to you.
So
well done.
Thank you, everyone, devotees.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
I'm so humbled. Yeah, Pavan Prabhu, thank you.
Thank you
Such
so much.
brilliant...
A beautiful session. Yeah, we're just listening and completely divine nectar. We're taking that. So thank you for taking us through 71st chapter. And Radha Lankwadeshwar ki jai.
Jai. Radha Lankwadeshwar ki jai.
We're gonna add that to our list.
I'm really looking forward to such wonderful stories and sharings by all our devotees, and this is what makes it real nectar. I want all of us, like, just share, and because that's what we are also eager to listen to each other, And yeah, Pavan Prabhu, I'm looking forward to maybe one Saturday when you come, we're going to go for Harinam to London.
Sure, Prabhuji. For sure. Yeah.
It's been a while. We'll do that.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. Hare Krishna, everyone. Let's do a final one. Vanchakalpa taribhyo evacha patitanam
Vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavita ki jai.
Sri Hari Bol Shri Shyam
Prabhupada
Prabhu
ki jai.
Hari Bol. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, devotees. Lovely. Till next Thursday, we'll see everyone.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.